Hello and welcome back to your South King County real estate update. My name is Sarah Eggleston and I am with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and I am back with your weekly real estate news. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll go ahead and get jumped into the slides. So it is Blue Friday. So last week, the Seahawks did lose, but it was in overtime. I got to catch the end of the game, and oh my gosh, that was intense. I am so excited for this next Sunday game. We have at 1:25 p.m. is the game kickoff. So make sure to tune on in. I know I will be watching at least part of the game. I might have to do a showing that day, unfortunately, but I will try my best to tune in for as much as possible. And just a reminder, Seahawks schedules are here. I do have some more, so please reach out if you would like one. Shoot me a message with an address that I can send it to, so you'll receive it and have this awesome magnetic schedule, which actually on the back has Sunday and Monday night games. So make sure to grab yours. And what happened this week? So this week was a little bit of a slower week for me, which I'm not complaining about. It's been so crazy. But I had an inspection this week, and it was my first time in a really long time attending a sewer scope. Not everybody gets a sewer scope done, and it was interesting to see that. Also, the demolition has progressed throughout my house. There will be a little bit more demo. We decided that originally we were just going to replace the carpet with the waterproof laminate plank. But once we pulled the carpet up, we saw some water damage on some areas of the subfloor, and there's a lot of creaking and stuff going on. So we're going to try and get that addressed, replace the subfloor, make it a little less creaky. It's one of those things, like, I'm not sure if it's worth it, but if we put the new flooring down and then want to do it, it's going to be much harder at that point. So make sure you're following me on Facebook and Instagram for the latest updates on the demo. I'm doing little live updates on Facebook and sharing them to Instagram. So make sure to tune in for that. And then if you follow me on YouTube, I'm going to be doing some more, once we're a little further through the process, doing some compilation videos of the process. So make sure to tune in. So in news this week, this is national news. So existing home sales fell in August, price growth slows. So we have been in such an intense market for the last year with very low inventory. And I mean, if you just break it down to basic supply and demand, there was very little supply and very high demand. So prices went up significantly. However, this past month in August, because most of these articles are about lagging data, existing home sales fell 2% from the month before. Its sales fell 1.5% from August of last year. So this is the first time in several months that we've had sales fall from the previous year, because 2020 was so crazy and no one bought homes in the spring, which is usually our busiest time of year. Late spring, early summer is kind of like the big boom in real estate. But that's right when coronavirus shut everything down. So when we're comparing numbers to last year, the past several months, we've been comparing it to lockdown pandemic numbers, because that's where we were last year. And so now this time last year, the real estate market had rebounded pretty significantly. So this is the first month where we're seeing fewer sales this month than the year before. And Lawrence Yoon from who's NAR's chief economist, said, so clearly home sales are settling down, but above pre-pandemic conditions, because sales are up 12% from August of 2019. And home prices continue to climb. Last month, nationally, median home prices rose to $356,700, 14% up from August a year previous. But that 14.9% price increase is way less than the past several months that we've been looking at, which were between 20 and 25% year over year increases. But that's because we were comparing it to a year before when we were in lockdown. 25% price growth year over year is absolutely not sustainable. It's only expected that it would slow down. Sellers that are putting their home on the market right now are not seeing as many multiple offers as they did in previous months. So last month, 23% of buyers opted to waive their home inspection, down from 27% in July. So we're seeing more inspections, fewer multiple offers. If you're in a multiple offer situation, you would be much more likely to leave out your inspection contingency to secure the deal than if you weren't competing against anybody. So that's a good signifier on that metric as well. And we are still crazy low on inventory. Nationally, we are down 32% from a year ago. And locally, that is even more dramatic. It was down 40% or 46%, depending on what metric you were looking at. And when I was looking at stats yesterday and the day before, it's even more intense in the greater Seattle area. And interest rates are still insanely low. Like an average interest rate historically is like 5%, and being at like 2.86 or peaking in April at 3.18 is just, I mean, that's still incredibly low. Mortgage rates really don't have anywhere to go from here but up, because they've been so low for so long, and they really can't go much lower. As the economy recovers, we expect interest rates to go up. Moving on to the next one, it is less intense multi-bidding and fewer first-time buyers in August. So that last article kind of ties into this one with the less multi-bidding, but the share of first-time home buyers declined to 29% in August, and the number of offers on homes that sold in August decreased on average to an average of four offers per home. This article actually let me bring out Washington State, and in February, the average home in Washington had 7.8 offers on it, and now we are down to 3.2 offers on the average. So, I mean, we've been cruising along at like 150 miles an hour in the real estate market, and now we're slowing down to like 110. So it's still crazy out there, but it has slowed a bit, which I know some of you buyers out there are happy to see. For the outlook, multi-bidding is expected to continue to cool as mortgage rates rise in 2022. NAR's forecast is that rates will rise from 3% in 2021 to 3.6% in 2022. So still staying, historically low. But each percentage increase in interest rate makes a huge difference in what you can purchase. So what you're qualified for. Oh, and then this one is not really real estate news per se, but I am excited about this. There's a new trail system that the article mentioned that Amazon gave a big chunk of money to finish this one section. Most of it's going to finish this one section of the trail, which I'll show you a picture of in a minute. But it is a 42-mile trail to run between Snohomish and Renton. I've been on part of this trail because it's been in the work for nearly a decade, it says here. I'm just really excited that this trail is going to exist along the whole east side. I think that's really cool. But it's also great for home values in that area. So if you own a home in that area or are looking for a place to purchase where home values are going to rise, you could look along this trail. But yeah, here's a picture of where the trail will be. This section's completed. Down here to Renton, this is the section I've been on, and that's completed. But the piece connecting the two here in Bellevue has this piece of the train trestles, because it used to be train tracks and they're transferring it over to a trail. But oh my gosh, this trail is going to be fantastic. So not really real estate news, but local news. But that brings us back to our real estate news. Market Stat Minute, we had 890 new listings, 1,112 pendings, and 918 sold in the last 7 days in King County. Our new listings had jumped up a couple weeks ago because we had the Labor Day weekend. So we jumped back up and then went down slightly on the new listings coming to the market, which also our pendings ticked down, but that's probably related to the fact that fewer listings came on the market. And for showings, this is the first time I've gone to this website since the beginning of the pandemic, and they haven't updated it. So I will keep you informed on what happens with showing traffic in North America, but appears to have remained pretty strong after that Labor Day weekend dip. So we'll see if that turns out to be true next week. So last week we were at a weekly average for our interest rate of 2.88. I saved the wrong one. So we were actually at 2.86 last week. The week before we were at 2.88. So we were back to where we were 2 weeks ago on our average interest rate. But the Delta variant, as long as that is affecting the economy in a negative fashion, we'll continue to see these low rates as the economy recovers and people go back to work. We will see interest rates rise. But if we look at our actual daily rate, our interest rate is 3.13. So that is actually significantly higher than the weekly average rate, which we've talked about in the past, is a survey that's sent out to a bunch of mortgage lenders, sent out on Monday. They have till Wednesday to respond, but most send it back on Monday. So it's generally a Monday to Monday comparison. And just a reminder, one more shout out so you don't forget. If you want your Seahawks schedule, shoot me a message and I will get that out to you. Just give me an address to send it to and I'll make sure you receive one. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I would love to have a conversation with you about what's happening in the real estate market in your area, or if you're curious about moving to another area, we can chat about that too. But thank you so much for joining me on your South King County real estate update. Cheer your Hawks on Sunday, and I will be back here Friday at 3 p.m. next week. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one.